Cool. Right. So let's just have a look at setups for tomorrow. We'll start with USDCHF because it's relatively easy. It's like pretty simple. So these setups are always really good on this pair. It's also respecting this higher time frame trend line a lot. So like this kind of downtrend that it's in here. We haven't tapped into this area of liquidity. However, we are starting to see, AJ, we are starting to see early signs that price wants to move out of this. It wants to move out of this downtrend. As we know, price generally doesn't tend to just break out and then move to the upside. We'll get usually a form of consolidation first in the form of like horizontal levels, or usually like a slowed angle of selling first. So maybe we start going like that before trying to break out and make our way to the upside. So kind of feels like price is starting to get a little bit exhausted with this. It is respecting the trend line, as I said, but I don't think we're going to go down too much further at this moment in time. So we have a few options for this. There's one thing that does concern me, is that we're at the end of the day. We've got obviously this lovely head and shoulders. This is a very consolidative uptrend. This isn't an uptrend. This is more just a correction after a big impulsive move to the downside. Very similar to what we had here, for example. We have a few options in terms of taking this trade. Obviously, we want to wait for a break and a retest. I can almost guarantee if this trade is correct, price will tap into this level and then it will start moving to the downside. If it's not correct, then the trade won't work, obviously, but this trade will not happen in the manner that I'm thinking it does, like how it did here, for example, where we had this previous low here, or this swing low, and price came back and retested that level. In terms of this trade, I'm thinking potentially that we are going to go all the way down to the bottom, where we know where there's going to be a lot of liquidity lines. There's going to be so many buyers situated here, but we also know there's going to be a lot of buyers situated along these levels here. And also, if we look further to the left, we know that we've got a really, really strong area of liquidity that is kind of laying in this zone, and there's not. If we look in terms of like where this is, we'll actually zoom out a little bit. We can see where all these wicks are. We want to look for the area where there's the most kind of buyers, and it's really looking like here, which is this third swing low on the uptrend. So the objective with this trade, if you take it, you can get away with the 10 pip stop loss really quite easily. That will be ample. It doesn't, when you get the level right, you don't really need any more than that on this pair. But just be wary that there's a lot of buyers situated at this level here. So, if you're going to be aiming for the moon, don't be disappointed if it reverses on you. Especially considering that we're already starting to see price wanting to break this trend here. Now, the other issue with this trade is, and I have seen it happen before, but I've only seen it happen once, which doesn't give me enough experience to feel really confident in this particular, taking the trade if this happens. So I'll explain what it is, okay? When swaps occurs, we know that price, obviously the spread widens and price is going to come down. This is what happened on swaps here a couple of days ago. We know price is going to come down. Now, sometimes when price comes down, price will struggle to get back over that line or to get back above that level, and it will just start moving down. What happens most of the time is that price will come down and then it will return back to the level where price left it in the first place. Personally, I think it's going up, or what do I know? I've only made 8k today. Okay, well, it might work. You know what I mean? It might work for you. I don't know. The trade might work, but this is, you know, what my entry system is, and you know, if the trade's going to work, if it breaks that level, this trade will most likely work. If it doesn't break the level, then it probably won't work. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, so what might happen is if we close below this level before swaps, then I'm going to be looking to get in it over Asia. If it doesn't close below this level, I'm going to be weary. But just be aware that that can happen. You know, you can see that price come down, and price might struggle to get back above that level after the swaps occurs. So that's just something that, you know, I've seen play out on USD CHF and Great British Pound CAD actually, I think twice, but I haven't got enough data to, you know, to really want to take the trade. I'd rather see what happens with it, just for future reference. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. It's kind of weird, but okay. Great British Pound AUD. Great British Pound AUD. So I'm going to be looking for a retracement, potentially back to this level here. So I've got a limit order placed with I think about 15 pips stop. If not, I'm going to look for a retracement back to this level just to make sure that the trade actually happens, or to make sure the trade happens. Obviously, like a massively impulsive move today that I didn't catch, was waiting on a retracement, should have really taken an entry there, to be honest with you. You know, I didn't. It happens. It's cool. We move on. But I have a lot of hope for big upside with these pairs. I kind of feel like we've come down, we've tapped into the liquidity that was needed. We can also see that price is getting like really quite squeezed here. So it's found another level for it to work off. But price is like, you know, really struggling now, really wanting to push above it. The thing is if we've got further upside on Great British Pound AUD, then we've definitely got further upside on Great British Pound New Zealand dollar as well. And then we're going to look to basically make our way out of, you know, out of this kind of correction, which it is a correction following this massive move to the upside where we're going to just continue to move up. What you've got to remember on this pair is it is on a massive uptrend. I'm gonna stop looking at chat because like this geezer's like making me laugh. Right. So yeah. Anyway, we're on this massive uptrend. Price is looking to move to the upside. Oh my god, man! You like I don't know, man. Go have a beer or smoke a joint or something. You like need to chill out. Right. Euro AUD, same thing again. I'm looking for a pullback to this level. Limit orders placed here and also limit orders placed here as well. Price kind of seems like it's exhausted itself today, although we're not closing above, we're not closing below this level here. So price could just continue to move to the upside. It's clearly working within this channel right now. So, you know, we could be looking at another move from the bottom of, which is nearly 3%. So we could be looking at another, you know, another monstrous move and wiping out like some of this kind of liquidity up here or some of this kind of liquidity up here. I don't know, but if I miss it, I miss it. I'm not too, you know, I'm not really too bothered. I'm kind of enjoying taking less trades, to be honest with you. I've taken a couple of trades this week and I'm up by $3,000, so I'm not too bothered, to be honest. Because like last week was a fucking monster. So yeah, same again with Euro NZD. Obviously, if Euro AUD moves up, Euro AUD or Euro NZD will also move up as well. We'll look to break that level, and if we do break that level, we're going to look to target highs. Just bear in mind that when you do start putting targets, like you know, when you start going, okay, shit, we're going to make it all that way up, it's not going to be that fucking simple, man. It never is. Everybody always thinks it's just going to move directly to that take profit, but you always get retracements and shit. Yes, that's pretty much it, man. That's all I'm really looking at. NZD-JPY as well. So, discussed this briefly last night. Let's just go on to the weekly to start with, right? So we've got a very, very strong weekly level here. If you're in the call last night, you can see price is just reacting at this level. Price is not able to close above this weekly level. We go down to the daily, it's closed a couple of times, but you can just see that it's really weak, that buyers have just weakened quite a lot on this. They're so exhausted, and we saw the early signs of a break here. Okay, this is what I'm saying. You most of the time you don't just see a break and then a retest. You usually get a couple of signs of it, and we're still now not closing above this level. So it looks like price is most likely going to end up moving down. Great British Pound JPY is also very similar, so we can see how steep and how strong buyers were here, and we can now start to see the angle of where buyers are getting exhausted. Saw so many people post about this. Oh, price is broken above this level, price is broken above this level. Cool. It didn't, you'd think it was going to be a break and a retest trade, but it just didn't. Price just didn't close below it. Could just continue to the upside, don't get me wrong, but I'm really getting these short JPY vibes again, where I think price is going to make a big move to the downside. I've talked to these guys about it last night. The Bank of Japan are looking at raising their interest rates again, which will strengthen their currency, and they managed to time it impeccably every time they do. Because to raise your interest rates, you need a relatively strong currency to be able to do so. It helps with it helps with export. So, we're starting to get signs of moving into more of a bearish market on these. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Potential shorts or potential long here on Euro USD. We can see here price is already starting to break out. So might even look at a long for this, to be fair. I'm not too sure yet, but if Euro USD does break out, then we should get the short on USD CHF. But who knows? We're only getting the early signs of it. Yeah, Euro USD longs, yeah, cool. So, has anyone got any questions? Oh, fucking hell. Jesus Christ, man. I thought the geezer was being serious. Honestly. I thought he was being fucking serious. I was like, mate. What the fuck? Oh. But yeah, cool. Has anyone got any questions? No one's speaking up. So I'm going to assume that is no. Oh shit, I forgot I'm still recording. It's good. Well done. Do you know what I mean? Good stuff. Take a few days off, bro. You don't have to jump straight in, man. A bit of patience. Stuff. I would say sometimes it's nice not trading. Like, gives you a little bit of headspace. It's good practice. Waiting for A+ setups. Yeah, cool. Is that? Are we all good? No one's really like piping up or saying anything, so I'm just going to assume that's a big fat yes. We're all good. We're going to make loads of money tomorrow. Cool. All right. So speak now or forever hold your peace. And if no one says anything, I'm going to leave you all to it. I'll upload the video so anybody else can see it, and yeah, we can just kind of look towards this stuff tomorrow. I'm really fucking love USD CHF shorts, man. I'm really hoping this plays out. Fucking absolutely beautiful head and shoulders. So, you know, if we were late on this, at least we can get like, we'll get something big on this, man. Trust me. Even if it's like only a fucking 4R or 5R or something, 6R. Do you know what I mean? That'll be a nice trade. So cool. Enjoy, guys. I'll catch up with you soon. Have a good night.